Wrestling Star Wars is on the air. It's This Week in Wrestling. Welcome on in, gang. I'm Brian Webster, along with Knuckles Nelson. Didn't mean to step all over you there, pal.
You always do, though.
Opening bout here this week, Eddie Edwards taking on Tony GANGSTA in a rematch from a couple of weeks ago in which we saw Eddie, the blue-haired Smurf, victorious over Tony GANGSTA.
Well, this is a great matchup as far as I'm concerned. Brian, is that a new suit? That's a lovely suit you're wearing.
We can talk fashion a little bit later on. And check out those fashionable chops here. Oh, nice reversal by GANGSTA. A nice Japanese arm drag. And down goes Eddie Edwards. Nice arm drag follow through. And this kid is all over his opponent here this week.
Going for a lateral press there early on in the matchup.
Tony GANGSTA, of course, looking for a little redemption here at the combat zone here this week. Things didn't quite go his way a couple of weeks ago when these two individuals first met.
Well, this young gun division is hot and heavy, and from what I understand, Spider Weicker is also considering entering the young guns division.
Well, he's about the right size, and of course, nobody knows the rules better than our good friend Bobby Spider Weicker, the third man, the official for this contest.
Well,
go please, don't let me interrupt.
I like Spider.
You like a lot of things that we can't even talk about here on this 30 minutes of This Week in Wrestling. I have to say that we are very much looking forward to Cuban Assassin Jose, who will be in action a little bit later on.
How many Cuban assassins are there? They're like the Villanos, right? There's at least 6 or 7 of them.
Absolutely. Look at that surfboard move right there as this crowd comes to life in support of Tony GANGSTA here this week.
Brian, can I ask you a question?
Please do.
Do you think I'm a has-been?
Absolutely not.
Thanks, buddy.
Look out. Off the ropes. Nice duck underneath. Look at a big high cross body. Weicker down, but only a count of 2.
I think you're one.
I'm not a has-been. I was a never. I'm a never was. Thank you very much.
Believe me, anybody in the New England area in the wrestling world knows who Brian Webster is.
A cover and only a count of 2, and a little bit of frustration being shown on the face of Eddie Edwards. You gotta love the hairdo, or perhaps that's a hair don't, Knuckles Nelson.
Of Eddie Edwards? Or Tony GANGSTA? Or Spider?
Pay attention. Well, Spider's got kind of a hairdo like you. You don't want to be dissing that haircut.
Capacity crowd here at the Combat Zone seeing that very nicely executed suplex by Eddie Edwards, trained by Slick Wagner Brown.
And a nonchalant, rather cocky cover by Eddie Edwards moments ago. Later on, we've got Freight Train, the big 310-pound Freight Train. Will be blasted on through This Week in Wrestling. He'll be taking on John Sullivan.
Well, Freight Train Dan, speaking of trainers from Killer Kowalski's.
Inside, the hottest half hour on television. Nice, go behind right there, rolls his man up, but cannot quite hold him down. Hey, folks, don't forget to visit www.wrestlingstarwars.com. We've got news, views, opinions, and a chance backslide right there. Eddie can't quite hold him. A chance for you to get involved. It's interactive. It's WrestlingStarWars.com.
Man, Eddie Edwards really nailed him with that clothesline after the sailor pin.
Eddie Edwards a little bit frustrated, but look
at that.
Man,
a chop on the canvas. Very unique. I like that.
Edwards trying to let him know who's boss inside that squared circle.
Brian, so you haven't commented on the fact that we are in our 101 week. 101st week, 101, 101. How would you say that?
You can say it any way you want. Any way you slice it, it's great wrestling television because not many promotions can say they've got 101 episodes in the can, so to speak.
Well, I know one person that would have been proud of us, and that's the Boston Bad Boy.
Absolutely. May God rest his soul. And I know he is looking down and smiling on not only the action of Wrestling Star Wars, but the antics of my broadcast partner, Knuckles Nelson.
Now, I always thought he was looking up. Let me tell you something right now. That side headlock there is very painful.
Thank you very much. Elbow right into the solar plexus. Nice duck underneath by Tony GANGSTA. Comes up with a big clothesline. You got to watch these young guns. If you blink, you miss something.
Oh, I did. I just blinked and I missed something. What was it?
Look out. Irish whip reverse. And GANGSTA. No, Edwards reversing. And these two all over one another.
Yeah, but who reversed who? Look at that. Asae moonsault. They both seem to bump at the same time.
2.5 right there. And watch how you pronounce Asae, please. This is a family program.
That's wrestling talk.
Yeah, I know what it is. Right hand by GANGSTA.
Now,
A
Brian,
scoop slam.
do you have any information on any upcoming Latino American wrestling shows in the area?
Well, we were a part of Latin American wrestling several weeks back. Great group being headed by some very dedicated individuals to professional wrestling. But right now, the business at hand is This Week in Wrestling and Wrestling Star Wars.
Okay, well, in that case, look for them to return to Lawrence, Massachusetts very, very soon. And while I'm talking about very, very soon, somebody's got to be winning this match very, very soon.
And GANGSTA introduced to the top turnbuckle, a la Eddie Edwards, and a big chop resounding off the walls of the combat zone. I'll tell you, this has been quite a matchup of reversals and maneuvers and counter maneuvers, and there's a DDT, and that's going to do it right there.
Oh!
Man, Waika almost down for the count of 3, and now telling Edwards it was only 2, but I was that close, pal.
Now, Brian, I also understand that a little later this week we're going to be taking a look at Gil Bonk, who is actually going to crown Miss Fireman's Muster of Salisbury Beach.
Hey, you never know what to expect right here on the hottest half hour on television. It's This Week in Wrestling.
Look at this, Brian. Both guys, look at that backflip off the top. Kind of useless move. Well, call it, Webster.
Couple of misses right there. Oh, man, what a flapjack by GANGSTA. Covers him, but cannot hold him down.
Well, Miss Fireman's Muster is a very prestigious title. Did you know I dated Miss Keg Party before?
I can't say that I'm surprised.
You just get a couple of beers in her, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I hear the same thing about you. Look out!
Uh-oh, now.
Unceremoniously dumped on the top turnbuckle is Eddie Edwards. You gotta love those flashy pants.
But look at this high-risk maneuver now being attempted by GANGSTA down to the canvas.
Down he goes, and Edwards quickly up. These young guns
Oh!
are all over one another, and there's a neck breaker from the top rope, and you might as well count to 2,000. This one is history.
Here's your winner, Eddie Edwards.
You watch this, and we're back with more of This Week in Wrestling.